president at bottom of the 420th inning. So there's a crack in the bat. It's hit. He's running. He's rounding first. He's rounding second, completely ignoring third base. Oh, he's sliding head first into 69th base with Doug Mellard.
Yo, welcome to 69th Base. I'm your host, Doug Mellard. We got a fun show today. Mikey is rejoining us. We're going to talk about the Patriot Dynasty. What is happening with it? Where's Brady going? Where's Bill going? Who's suspended? What's going on? We're also going to talk about the easily navigated, totally normal Cowboys head coaching hiring and firing. Also, the Saints' annual heartbreak came at the hands of the Vikings once again. The Eagles season is over. We're going to preview next week, plus the offseason, and start a rumor, as usual, plus much more. Guys, excited for the show. Thanks for joining. Before we bring Mikey in, I just got to share with you, several years ago, I'm old. 20 years ago, I had a couple roommates, and one of them, when he was moving in, he went to his storage unit to get his old furniture, to bring it to our new place. And when he did that in his storage unit, all the furniture was like on the undersides of everything, the couches, chairs, everything, just covered in dozens. In my head, it was like hundreds, but I don't remember exactly. Black widow eggs, just completely covered. I hate spiders, total phobia. But I'm telling you right now, I would rather sleep in that storage unit for an entire summer in the blistering heat, no air conditioner, with all those spider eggs to hatch whatever, crawl all over me, than to spend a dinner with Skip Bayless. I think we can all come to that conclusion. Hell, I would rather those spider eggs hatch in my ball sack than to spend 10 minutes with Skip Bayless. We can all agree, right? Am I right? Huh? Who's with me? Guys, as always, perfect segue to tell you to rate, review, subscribe. Takes a couple seconds, real easy. Help us grow this podcast. And, hey, well, I got a fun story for you guys, and I'm going to have Mikey come on and join us right now. Welcome, Mikey, everybody. Here we go.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, dude. Glad you're back.
I just want to open this off by saying, can you imagine how many poor Thai women have had to give Robert Kraft a hand job in the last 2 days?
Oh, boy. Oh, man.
He went straight to the Thai massage place.
Yeah. Direct flight, private plane, landed in that strip mall parking lot.
I think he actually took Air Force One to get there.
Yeah. Oh, man, I didn't think about that aspect of the whole thing. So many tug jobs.
So many.
Just to relieve all the stress. Now, we'll get into a little bit what's going to go on there. But, yeah, there's a lot for Mr. Kraft to think about, And, his wife had passed away not too long ago.
I didn't know that.
And he was so sad, and everybody's sad for him, but I think he was immediately banging like a 21-year-old or whatever.
Yeah, that's kind of a grain of salt in the whole story right there. He was really sad, but he hired multiple prostitutes the night his wife died.
Yeah, to
poor guy,
tug on his penis, and he looks like a Keebler elf. There's also that. Well, hey, you're a Texans fan. The Texans win. They advance. They beat the Bills. We were talking about it a little bit. Josh Allen looked good, but
he fell apart in the second half.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, we were like that. What was up with that weird flip?
Yeah, there's like a minute and a half left in the game. He's driving down the field for the win, and like on second and 6, he flips maybe first and 10, he flips the ball out to thinking it's like an end of game play, but I don't really understand what that was about. And Deshaun we trust either way.
Yeah, man, that play. I thought he was sacked for sure. I actually literally in real time thought he was on the ground. I thought it was over.
He was kind of hidden by that lineman.
Yeah. And then the crowd's going nuts and I'm confused. And then here we are. They advance. That was insane. Deshaun's a man.
Real quick, every now and then you fart in a microphone. If I have to fart, do I fart in these microphones?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like Russian roulette where we don't know which microphone I've farted into, but I assume at this point both.
My lips are touching this one. So.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna have pink mouth.
Pink mouth. Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, feel free. Fart in there. Fart away.
I've never done that before. That's on my bucket list.
To fart in a microphone?
Yeah.
I did it. I always wanted to do that live, like in front of a crowd, and I thought that'd be so funny. And I finally did it at a show called Laugh Damn It, and in Austin, in front of a crowd, and it wasn't what I wanted it to be.
In Austin, those people are like, ew.
Yeah,
gross.
I think that would be the reaction.
This guy has a beard and he farted in a microphone.
Yeah.
And he's intoxicated.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was very anticlimactic. Like the crowd was just like, "Yeah, fucking leave now."
Yeah, you need to be in
please."
like the Midwest to do that.
Yeah.
You need to be like in North Dakota doing a show.
No, I don't know, man. I don't think there's really any place to do that, but I think it would have got the same exact reaction anywhere.
I was really just thinking about Roadhouse, and I was like, that would go over
Oh
well
yeah,
with people in
yeah,
Roadhouse.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the South though. That's not the Midwest. Are you crazy?
Oh wait, no. He goes. It starts. He's at the club in the north, and then he goes down to the south.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
I love how much you know about that movie.
I've seen it half a dozen times, and I have a tattoo on my right butt cheek.
My favorite line in that whole film is, I think towards the beginning, guy's being shitty and like gropey with a woman, and he just asks, "Do you want to get nipple to nipple?" So good.
I have a favorite line from that movie too.
What's that?
He's in the hospital after
Oh, I
one
know where this is
of
going.
his incidents,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Does it hurt?" He's like, "Pain don't hurt."
Yeah. And that's what Deshaun Watson said in his head as he escaped that 2-man pass rush.
yeah. That's like pain is literally hurt. It doesn't. It's there's no separation in my mind, but either way, I'm sure.
Well, there's no more pain for Swayze anymore because he's dead.
Thanks. Thanks for that segue. Val Kilmer's next, unfortunately. I love that guy. You know he can't talk now.
Oh, I did not know that.
He has a voice box. He like one of those things.
What?
He had throat cancer and he got surgery.
Oh, no.
He has to hold one of those things to his neck now, and like has the yeah, this is real.
It was his 60th birthday not too long ago.
How do you know that?
Because it was New Year's Eve, and I looked up celebrities' birthdays to make a toast
Okay.
on New Year's Eve
Okay.
as a joke. It was also
you're like,
Ben
this
Kingsley.
one's to Patrick Swayze. I mean,
Yeah.
Val Kilmer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's his 60th, and he has a place out in Santa Fe, and that's where we were.
I apologize to any members of the audience out there who might use a voice box or talk box, but you got to know it's not you. It's just it's just us.
Man, I didn't know that about Val. That's a bummer. I guess we're not going to see him in Real Genius 2. Oh man.
Well, now he's playing a robot actually. So yeah,
God.
Is this gonna get
We're
cut?
5 minutes in, and we're gonna get the most complaints ever. Well, hey, we gotta talk about it. You're here. I called you as soon as it happened, pretty much as soon as I got back. I teased it on Instagram and stuff. I was in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and I was at my favorite restaurant, Tesuque Village Market, and it was a weird situation. I'm standing there with Flynn. We're hanging out. We're waiting to see if we can get food to go. We cannot. I think it was New Year's Eve, and it's chaos in there. It was like real busy.
It looked like a Cracker Barrel from the photos.
Oh no, it's just really badass place. The best food in all of it's. I've told stories about hiding burritos, like burying them like squirrels, basically.
Bearing them?
Yeah, I like hide them away like a little squirrel. Like I ate that 36-hour burrito, and got real sick. That's from this place. They're the best burritos. All their food. They got Frito pie, all this shit.
Green chili.
Yeah, everything smothered in green chili. So good. So I'm standing there, and it's kind of chaotic. We know the people that run the place. They're really sweet people. That's important to know. And I look across. We're leaving. We're turned away for getting a to-go order, and we start to leave. And then I look at this guy, And I'm like, that's Will Cain. And Flynn's like, that's not Will Cain. And then poor Flynn, even at this point knows that, like, what these idiots look like.
Yeah.
And she's like, I think that might be Will Cain.
You've turned her into Skip Bayless's wife.
Right. Yeah. It's like even sadder.
What's her name? Josephine or something?
Ernestine.
Yeah.
Well, except that I treat her nicely. And so we're looking at him, and then we go back and forth. Like, that's not him. Because it's out of context and so bizarre. We're in Santa Fe.
Yeah.
And you're just not expecting it. And we're debating, and so I see him turn to his wife. He's with his family, and he starts to say something. So I walk over, and I was like, I'll listen to his voice, and I can tell by his voice.
Yeah.
And sure enough,
That's not the creepiest thing I've ever heard.
I had to, like, because I didn't want to, like, I wanted to do something.
Let me walk over and listen to his voice.
Yeah, let me listen to his voice. So I had to do something, to verify, and honestly, I thought he was much smaller. He was very tall.
Like 6'3", 6'4"?
I guess. There's the picture. I got a picture taken. So it was a weird moment because, again, we were in a hurry. We were trying to leave, and he seemed to be in a hurry. He was with his family. And I'm sitting there, like, Flynn is just like, come on, we got to get back to our group. But I'm like, I have to do something.
Yeah.
And I still have regrets that I didn't, like, tear into him or whatever.
Pour tomato sauce on him or something.
Yeah. And you guys can rip me apart, say whatever you want to say. But it was just so out of left field, not expecting to see him. He's with his family. What am I going to call him, a Nazi, Just
And
be like, hey, you're racist.
You sent me a photo of him, and, like, I really didn't recognize him without all denim on.
Yeah, he wasn't wearing all denim.
You sent me a photo. I was like, Doug is just sending me a photo of some white guy. And then I was like, wait a second. He kind of rung a bell. I Googled him. And first it was just like a denim wall that hit my Google image search. But, yeah, the facial features matched. So
yeah, it's that's why I didn't recognize him initially. It's the weird, and he had that weird shirt on. But
yeah.
But yeah, and I didn't attack him verbally, but it felt like if I had done that, it would be the same thing as just cold cock punching a guy in the back of a head.
Sorry, keep going.
God damn it!
Yeah. Cut.
It felt like if I were to, like, just cold cock punch a guy in the back of the head, the same thing as verbally attacking him in front of his family. It was New Year's Eve. I was in a good mood. And I think from now on, I just need to have a plan in my phone. Like, all right, if you see Skip Bayless, this is what you do. You see Will Cain, this is what you do. But I had to do something. So I very sarcastically said, or Flynn said, he's a big fan of yours. I asked if I could get a picture.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask, how the interaction came about.
So he was very surprised by the whole thing. It seemed like it caught him off guard. He was like, you want a picture? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, you listen to the show? And I go, yeah. And he goes, you're a fan of the show? Like, he kept repeating everything.
You know what I look like?
Yeah. No one knows who I am. I don't think that it was even that. I looking back, I was wondering, it kind of, I don't want to say bum me out, but I'm wondering if he is attacked so much because no one really actually likes him, that, like, he was, like, insecure about, like, are you taking a picture sarcastically?
Yeah.
Which I was, so that you can rip me on the internet, because it almost felt like he didn't want to get the picture taken.
Really?
And you would think a guy in his position would want, like, yeah, I'm being recognized. Check it out, to his family or whatever. But
maybe he's Aborigines.
What is? Oh, like
the photo's gonna steal his soul.
Yeah, I don't think he has a soul, so I don't think he's too worried about that. But yeah. So it's I just think he thought I was gonna talk shit on him, which is exactly what I did. But I have regrets, that I didn't. Would you have been able to just, like, verbally abuse somebody?
That's the thing.
In front of your friends, like at your friend's restaurant, Like,
yeah, it's like I hate on a lot of people in the spotlight, and I don't think I could probably pull the trigger when I got there in that situation.
See, I think
But at the same time, I'd want to plug the podcast. I'd be like, hey, I have a
I know,
podcast dedicated to like hating on you and Skip Bayless.
Yeah, I should have done it.
And then maybe you'd be like, yeah, but it's all fun and games. Why don't we get you to call in?
Right.
You know?
Yep. I had so many thoughts going through, and I had seconds basically to make a decision. So I instead just got the photograph, but I feel really stupid.
He wouldn't know it's all fun and games.
So I guess it's like I just have to be prepared for round 2. It did feel like somebody made the comparison of like you're doing a mob hit, and that guy's with their family, and you're like, it's not the
I
right.
don't want to get blood on his son's face.
Yeah, that's exactly how it felt. Enough about Will Cain. It's good to keep your enemies closer. It felt weird being in his presence. And it's weird to be in a good mood and just hate on somebody immediately.
That would make you a very spiteful person, I think.
Yeah, and I think it also felt just like stooping to his level, and I'm not going to fucking do that. I'm a decent person. So let's jump into the worst takes. Let's see what's going on. Skip Bayless had a really bad week. The Lakers are on a tear. The Clippers, admittedly, are not playing well. The Cowboys are out. McCarthy is in. He doesn't like McCarthy. Also, the Patriots are out. Brady might be done. And his Super Bowl prediction is done. He predicted Cowboys lose to the Patriots. They're both out. The Cowboys didn't even
He
make
put Cowboys in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, of course he did.
How delusional.
I kind of want to look back at every year and see if he did it every year, because I just assume I think he did it last year. It's very delusional. I am a Cowboys fan.
I'd put him in the wild card, maybe.
Yeah, I thought they'd make the playoffs, but I was skeptical of that. But here we are. So prepare for the offseason of what happens to Tom Brady, and can Bill Belichick win without him, because that's what we're in for. That's all that's going to be talked about.
It's going to be like Tebow Mania all over again.
Jesus Christ. We're never going to hear the end of it. I'm not excited. I'm not thrilled about what's to come. Skip, of course, picked the Titans in the game, even though he picked the Patriots to win the Super Bowl. That immediately doesn't pan out. I think that's just the ultimate hedging of bets again, where he's just like, well, I can say the Titans should have won.
He has like a chalkboard back at his house, just like trying to figure out his safest possible option.
Yeah. And, so he got the pick right, but he got his Super Bowl bet wrong. And today they discussed the whole thing and what's going to happen to Brady, and it was just a lot of yelling. I thought eventually Shannon Sharp will break and murder him on air, I think.
Yeah.
And
be a fairy tale conclusion for Skip's career.
Yeah. And Skip's whole thing is that he has no help, and Shannon's argument is that he's old. And Skip says he has 2 to 3 more years. I really have a hard time. I think he'll play next year, but you can see him dipping already.
At this point, what would Tom Brady have to do to make you respect him or like him?
Oh man.
What if he went to the Browns and won a Super Bowl?
Well, as a person, I would never like him. I mean, I respect him he's great. He's won all the he's done all the things. That's why I hate him.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess if he did. My whole thing is that he is definitely aging, and he's not playing. He was in the bottom 3 of a lot of statistics for most of the season.
It was like Peyton Manning's last season when he was just struggling.
Well, not that bad. He's not at that point.
Yeah.
But I think he could be at that point next year, maybe.
That was like Peyton Manning on his deathbed, throwing 15-yard lobs. You know?
Yeah.
That was sad, but they won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Defense wins.
So, I mean, maybe he can do it. There's going to be a lot of shifting around with quarterbacks. The Panthers need a quarterback. The Jaguars.
It's a good thing the Patriots have Jimmy Garoppolo. Oh, wait. They don't, do they?
Yeah. Meanwhile, Garoppolo's in the 1 seed in the West. Oh, man. Belichick's. I wonder if they text, during the playoffs.
If Belichick strikes me as a guy who has a Nokia, snake style phone. You remember those?
Yeah. For sure.
I don't think he can text.
Skip Bayless's whole plan for Tom Brady is for him to go to the Chargers, where he thinks he will have a deep run in the playoffs. What do you think about that?
I don't. I don't.
I think that's like
where does that come from?
It just skips weird head.
I know. Yeah, it's like
I feel like he. It makes no sense to me because I feel like that's just a lateral move with Phillip Rivers. Like
Phillip Rivers is like 39, isn't he? Or 38?
Yeah, they're around the same. He's younger.
Yeah, he's like 2 or 3 years younger, I think.
Plus he has a bolo tie, which gives him magical powers. So there's that.
And he has the most potent seed on the planet.
But it's just a weird. Yeah, he's a 400 kids, but it's just weird to throw that thing out there. Like he keeps repeating that he wants him to go to the Chargers, which I don't think that's very likely.
Has he ever been a Chargers fan?
No, he just thinks it would be a good fit, and they should move on from Rivers. So therefore, but you could say that about almost any team. There's like probably 15 teams that are going to switch quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So you could say that about anybody. Why just focus on the Chargers?
He could go to the fucking Cowboys. You know, why wouldn't Skip say that?
Well, that's another thing. He thinks Belichick could also move on. Like there's a possibility of either one moving on or both. And before, like actually in the same show today, like the news wasn't in that McCarthy was in, and he was saying Belichick could go to the Cowboys and he would welcome it, even though he says Belichick sucks and he's not the reason they win, but he would love it if he came to the Cowboys. So that doesn't check out. His math is very, very low IQ. It doesn't add up.
Well, I mean, he also hated Jason Garrett, though, which I guess you did too, right?
Yeah. So maybe by his logic.
I don't mean to compare you to Skip.
No.
By any means, but
I think, maybe by his logic, just anything's a step up. But then, we'll get into it a little bit, but about the hiring. But, so I don't think, I also just, on top of everything else, I don't think he would survive on the Chargers. I don't think it would be the coaching's not as good as Belichick. I think he needs Belichick.
Any reason to even say that he should go to the Chargers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, he'd have Keenan Allen, and he'd have some weapons and all that.
He should go to the Bears, if anything.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like, why not go to the Bears? Like, there's a number of teams. I don't know.
Yeah, he could, like, literally, you just pick a fucking team out of the hat.
Yeah. As for the actual game itself, Skip said that he needed Belichick's defense to step it up. He puts it all in Belichick. It's not Brady. It's not Brady's not playing well.
Belichick's defense.
Yes, yeah. And which only gave up 13 points.
Yeah. Led the leagues in defensive touchdowns this season, right?
Yeah. And he needs to step it up. And they only gave 13 points, but he still put it on him because Henry had like 181 yards or whatever it was. It wasn't that Brady wasn't – and Brady didn't play the worst or anything, but as far as the pick six to end the game, he said that was on Sanu. It hit him right in the hands. Maybe the defender got a finger on it, and I highly disagree. Did you see the replay of that?
What I saw, the ball was about 5 yards behind him.
Yeah, he had to stop.
Yeah, he had to make a superhuman play on the ball, and it was one of the cleanest interceptions I've ever seen.
Yeah. The dude stopped. The guy was draped all over him because the pass was way behind him.
Yeah.
And in the replay, I even paused it after I heard him say that. And it looks like Sanu didn't even have a chance to get a hand on the ball unless he threw the guy off of his back. So, yeah, that's 100% inaccurate.
Skip could have done it, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He would have easily caught that and turned it into a touchdown for the Patriots. Easily. He's 68 years young.
He can turn on a dime, that guy.
Yeah, he's so fast and he's so young and so good looking.
Huge hog.
Yeah, such a big dig. So where does Brady fall? Little hint at the offseason, little preview. It's exciting to see, like, Brady might leave. Cam Newton will probably change teams. Phillip Rivers might change teams or retire. Andy Dalton will most likely change teams. Eli Manning will either retire or change teams. Drew Brees could possibly retire.
Yeah. This is the end of an era.
Yeah. Tua, Burrows, and Herbert, and other quarterbacks from the draft are going to be in the mix.
Not to mention the coaching switch-ups that have been going
Yes.
on.
Tannehill, I would assume he's going to stay with Tennessee, but are they going to get another young guy, also? Trubisky, they say he's the guy next year, but that's insane. They should probably do something about that. Bridgewater, what's he going to do if Breeze stays? Winston, Mariota, where does he go? Dak's contract, I would assume he stays. Matthew Stafford, he's a question mark. Derek Carr might be, thrown to the wayside.
Dak never signed a contract this year, right?
No, he's, I think he's a restricted free agent, but also Andrew Luck, I wouldn't rule him out as like they're at least going to talk about it. I don't think anything will happen. I think he is done.
Skip was pro Andrew Luck, right?
No, he hates Andrew Luck
Really?
so much. Yeah, he thought he was a bust. He thought that they did a bad.
I bet he loved RG3 though.
He did love RG3, and that didn't turn out too well.
Well, RG3's in Baltimore, right?
Yeah, he's back with a vengeance. Also, Baker Mayfield. What the fuck's gonna happen to that guy? So a lot of movement. We don't know where Brady's gonna go and what's gonna happen to any of these fucking quarterbacks. It's gonna be an exciting offseason. And there's already a lot of changes, like the Cowboys. So that was a totally normal hire, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, I'm not a diehard Cowboys fan. I think McCarthy's an improvement.
Yeah. Well, let's start with the firing.
Okay.
I think.
I thought you said an awkward hire.
No, it was. But sorry,
Okay.
I'm gonna backtrack a little bit now that I think about it.
Yeah.
So they have Jason Garrett. He loses. Everybody knows he's going to get fired.
They lock him in an office for a week.
Yeah, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
I just assumed he'd be fired immediately. I thought maybe, okay, they're taking the weekend as like a nice gesture, which is not a cool thing to do in sports if you have the one-up, if you want the one-up, because meanwhile, Washington's hiring Ron Rivera.
Jason Garrett seems like a manipulative boyfriend or girlfriend, like just clinging on to anything with the hope of staying. I bet he was begging Jerry Jones.
That's the rumor. He was begging for the job. That was one rumor. Some people thought that he was going to stay on as the coach. Like there was just so much time lingering between what happened.
Yeah.
That nobody knew what was going on. So
probably how Jerry likes it.
Yeah, he liked the headlines because the Eagles are still in the playoffs, so it's good to keep the Cowboys' name on everybody's minds.
Yeah, keeps the value of his team up.
Exactly. And, so they have a meeting. He's not fired. People are nervous. Then they have a second meeting. He is not fired. There's rumor of a third meeting. And then, they have a third meeting. Still not fired. And everybody's like, what the fuck? Some people think he's going to stay on. Some people think he's going to, they're just trying to find a way to sell the role or sell the angle that he is going to stay on. And then some people thought, they're going to, just give him, some office, whatever, executive job, which doesn't make any sense. And then in the end, you start hearing that he's still not fired, but Marvin Lewis is being interviewed. Mike McCarthy's being interviewed. And then the next thing you know, I guess they did fire Garrett a couple nights ago.
But it didn't really feel like a clean firing. It's not. It seems like it was just rumors he's been let go.
Yeah, there was 2 nights out. There was they said he was fired. That was the rumor, but he wasn't officially. There was no statement. And then finally, the day before McCarthy was hired, they fired him. It was just so bizarre. It made no sense. And if you respect him that much, why not just let him fucking go?
Yeah. Anyway, are you happy with the McCarthy choice?
No.
No?
I mean, I think it's a step up from Garrett, but I don't think it's...
Wait, he won a Super Bowl, right? With Green Bay?
Yeah, with Aaron Rodgers in his prime. He probably should have won 4. I don't think that was his Super Bowl. I think that was Aaron Rodgers' Super Bowl. And he got real stale, and... there was a lot of butting heads with him and Rodgers, which Rodgers seems like kind of a diva, so I don't really...
I've heard he's an ass.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like the nicest guy. But McCarthy just seems like a very Jerry Jones, bland, you're not going to talk shit on me, you're going to do what I say.
Yeah.
again, step up from Garrett because Garrett was not very proven when he took over.
He's just like a redhead lighthouse on the sideline, just
Yeah.
reflecting all of the stadium lights.
And clapping,
Yeah.
telling everybody they're doing a great job. McCarthy can do that.
With a little more weight on him, too.
I just don't see how, like, if you had Rodgers in his prime and you won one Super Bowl, how many Super Bowls does that equate with Dak?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make a ton of sense. But, we'll see.
Who would you have really liked to see in there? Ron Rivera?
I would prefer Rivera, honestly. Like, Rivera, the players always really talked him up.
He went to Washington, right?
Yeah. And I feel like he never had a great team given to him. So and he had a Super Bowl appearance, so there's that. But I feel like he is a player that or a coach that players played for, as opposed to McCarthy. Where
He's real Hannibal,
what's that?
Like, continue.
Hannibal.
I've been listening to this Roman history podcast. Sorry, I just popped in my head.
I was thinking Hannibal Lecter, Hannibal from
Like
A-Team.
the OG Hannibal. Like, let's cross the Alps Hannibal.
Yeah, nobody would have caught that.
Yeah.
As we watch Cyborg on HBO in the background.
I put on Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, that's what's on. Oh, hell yeah. Skip actually wanted Urban Meyer, which I did not want at all. I don't like Urban Meyer. I don't think it would translate to the NFL. I think he's a weasel.
Yeah.
I think that's, of course, what Skip Bayless would want. That makes the most sense. I just never thought we were going to get a coach that I would love.
But he coached Tebow,
Yeah, there you go. That's why he wants him. He can maybe recruit Tim Tebow. Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
That probably would have been a real thing. But I just, with Jerry Jones in charge, I think we're just in for Jerry Jones is going to go all out Al Davis in the next several years until he dies. And I think it's actually going to be worse. He's going to get more and more desperate, and it's going to get real sad and real weird.
Yeah. How long do you think he has? Who's going to live longer, him or George R.R. Martin?
Oof. Oh, boy. That's a good question. I mean, Jerry's in better shape
Yeah.
and has more money. That's a tough one.
I mean, hopefully George lives longer, though.
Why to write the books?
Yeah,
that's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. He's involved with so many things outside of the books now. I don't think he's gonna ever care to finish the books. Maybe Jerry Jones will finish the books in his madness as he turns into Al Davis, and then Stephen Jones gets Mark Davis's haircut. How great would that be?
Even I'm confused now.
I don't know what I'm talking about. We have had much to drink. Probably should have brought that up much earlier. Now this podcast makes more sense. Moving on to the Saints and Vikings. Guys, oh boy. The Saints had their annual heartbreak. They end on another controversial call against the Vikings. It's deja vu. How fucking crazy was that? Did you think it was pass interference?
It wasn't as obviously pass interference as last year.
Yeah, that one was blatant. I think 2 years ago, maybe.
2 years, yeah. Is that what it was? Yeah. No, last year was 2 years ago was the miracle.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was so blatant. It was horrible.
Yeah.
But I feel like, well, the Saints did Bountygate. I think that still haunts them. I think it's like a curse. And then on top of that, I was sick of everybody complaining about that call to where it's like, yes, that was blatant, but you had other opportunities to win the game.
Yeah.
I thought it was actually interference. I thought it was a bullshit
It was a
call.
push. It was a push off
For sure. But I was pulling for the Vikings. But, that's football. And it doesn't come down to one play. That's my whole thing.
Yeah.
Although wait till the Cowboys lose on some horrible fucking play. I'm going to be screaming. Got to give it to Kirk Cousins. He played well.
Cuddy does it. No, wait, that's Jay Cutler. Cousins does it. Yeah. It was I'm not going to say I'm a believer in Kirk Cousins now, but he eked that one through.
I never doubted him. I always called him Mr. Clutch in the prime time, as everybody else did. Everybody always said, when the lights are on him, the big lights, he shines, and that's exactly what he did. like everybody expected.
Yeah, I mean, I just like all the memes that came out of his "you like that" kind of thing.
Yeah.
That was really the highlight of his career, in my opinion.
Did he do that after this game by chance?
No, because there's no people doubting him now. You know, that
Yeah.
was after like 4 like losses with the Redskins, and everyone was like, Kirk Cousins is done, and then he
Yeah.
like put up like 600 yards. Like, you like
Freaked
that?
the fuck out.
Yeah.
But hey, man, he pulled it off. He beat the Saints. They were a favorite, I think, for a lot of people. And Vikings are moving on. It's gonna be.
I mean, he also has Dalvin Cook, which
yeah, that
helps.
doesn't hurt.
You know.
Yeah, at one point he was injured, and I thought he was gonna miss the playoffs, but he was back. Had he been out, devastating. I am maybe gonna throw up.
Yeah, what's going on over there?
Trying not to.
Doug's like
Trying to hold it back.
Holding back. You should see the reclined
I really
position.
do not feel well.
Yeah, you look like a. You just need to be fed grapes or something. You're just like lying back in this.
Oh, please do that. I need hydration.
feed
I
me
don't know what's
grapes.
happening. I had one drink. Yeah. So I feel like Saints fans right now. Maybe that's what's happening.
I feel like Cowboys fans.
Yeah. But hey, the Vikings advance. Saints are done. Saints have another offseason of we lost and everything didn't go our way. We were fucked over. And you were. It did happen twice. That is fucked. But you guys put bounties on everybody's head.
Yeah, New Orleans fans are classy. They'll move past it.
Yeah. It's no problem. It'll be fine. And honest, I gotta admit, I have a bias here. I think I've talked about it on here before. I've talked about it on stage. 7th grade-ish, I had a friend that was in my friend group that was from Louisiana. He's a big Saints fan, and that he was just the guy we picked on in our group. And so because of that, 30 years later, I still hate the Saints for no fucking reason.
I think you did tell me
I'm
that.
just like, yeah, fuck the Saints. And it's just because of this one kid that I hung out with 30 years ago.
Well, that's kind of why I don't like the Cowboys. My friend
Really?
growing up, Hank Harrison.
Oh, wow.
I always wanted another team in Texas, and he was like the most annoying Cowboys fan I'd ever met. He was like Cowboys, Mavericks, Spurs, like any team that was winning.
Yeah.
Even though the Cowboys weren't really winning at the time, but
Yeah.
he would never shut up about it. And then we got the Texans, and I was like super excited to have another team, because at that point I was just like a, blind Peyton Manning fan. But
Whoa, Manning, really?
yeah, I liked the Colts until the Texans came around.
Oh. Yeah. I still hate the Saints to this day because of one kid. It makes no sense. I'm an adult. I should be able to recognize that and move on. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm glad they fucking lost to that pass interference non-call. And we're moving on. Speaking of moving on, Carson Wentz moved on from the playoffs again. That guy hates playing in the playoffs. It's real weird.
First quarter hero, that guy.
Yeah, what was it, 8 snaps?
Yeah, something like
And
that.
I mean, that was a cheap shot, I feel. I mean, it was helmet to helmet. It was kind of fucked.
Skip would have fought through that, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure. 100% would have made it. That game I felt like was the most boring of all the games. But, man, you got to hand it to the Eagles for playing in these. That was the scrappiest season by any team ever to make it the playoffs when they were down to their 8th string receiver. People were dying on their team. They had no offensive linemen pulling in guys from the stands.
The fans that they have in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, classy. Very classy. Always classy.
Yeah.
But Wentz once again, it made me feel better about like Dak versus Wentz, just in that like at least Dak stays upright, so we got that going for us. Wentz really hasn't played in the playoffs yet. Still, it's never.
Did you
gonna
say
happen.
Dak stays upright?
He doesn't.
Unless he's begging Jerry for a contract.
Yeah, we'll see what happens in the next few weeks. Who do you have in the Vikings Niners game?
Niners.
Yeah, me for sure as well.
Niners by like 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think. Unless, God, how crazy it would be if it's like Cousins and Tannehill in the Super Bowl. Tennessee,
Never gonna happen.
Yeah, Tennessee, Baltimore.
Texans are
Baltimore.
gonna lose to Kansas City.
Yeah. Yep, I got Kansas City as well. Got Baltimore. Green Bay Seattle is the only game where I feel like it's maybe up for grabs, and I still think Green Bay will win at home.
They have an interesting history. Like every time they play, it's kind of like ever since going back to the replacement refs.
Oh right,
Yeah,
that
they
crazy-
always have weird games.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. Who do you think's gonna win though?
I think the Seahawks are going to win, but I'd rather see the Packers win.
Yeah, I think Packers. I like both teams. Okay, man, how enjoyable is it the playoffs now that Tom Brady and the Patriots are out?
Yeah,
I
it's
can
like-
kind of get behind anybody.
Yeah, now I can like happily discuss other options.
Yeah, because like the Saints, I even would have been like, yeah, that's fine. Good for that kid from the 7th grade,
Yeah,
Sure. It's the Patriots. That's the only team
Good
where
for
I'm
that
just,
little bitch.
yeah, I outright hate. Even the Eagles, I'd respect it because they had nobody on their fucking team at this point. But yeah, it's good to like relax into it and just be like, hey, all these matchups would be interesting because as long as the Patriots are in the playoffs, in the back of your mind, you're like,
They're gonna
it's
win.
probably just gonna be them again.
Yeah, exactly.
God damn it!
And then it is them.
It's just so boring. Yes,
Like
exactly.
the Super Bowl. Every time they're in the Super Bowl, it's like I don't really watch it. I'm always at a Super Bowl party and I just eat 24 wings,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm looking at most of the game.
Yeah, when they're in the Super Bowl, you can't relax. You're always going for the other team. But like Atlanta had them by like 27 or whatever it was, and then they fucking lose.
I actually
So,
won money on that.
Whoa, way to go. Moving on, Colin Cowherd got all of his picks wrong from this weekend. That's just
Pits.
hilarious. And just a quick thing, Skip Bayless, I thought this was so funny, posted, he made the host read a tweet of his on the air. I just thought that was so desperate and hilarious.
Did he make the woman read it?
Well, just he's like, hey, pull this tweet of mine up.
Really?
Like, how much fucking weird attention do you need? You're already on national TV, and you're like, hey, pull my Twitter up. Look at this tweet. It's brilliant. Moving on to something we both really enjoyed over the last couple days. We've talked about it a lot on the podcast. Antonio Brown. What's up with that guy? I'll tell you what's up with that guy. He has a new song out.
Utter insanity. Is what's up with that guy?
It's a hit single called Whole Lot of Money. Check it out now. You can stream it. Don't buy it. Don't support too much. But it is fucking batshit crazy. Again, it's called Whole Lot of Money. And that should give you an indication of what it's about. And that's kind of once I say the title, you kind of know what's going to happen. It's all auto-tuned. There's maybe 3 actual lyrics in the song.
A whole lot of money.
Well, he says that, but like outside of the chorus, there's maybe 3 lines dropped.
I have it up here on my phone. Should I play it like a
play
couple,
like a snippet.
couple second
Yeah,
sample?
yeah.
I don't really know how this works with copyright, guys. So I'm just gonna drop this song on for 5 seconds or less.
Sure. That's pretty much the song.
So I'm watching this music video. What I like about the music video is like he's never in a cutscene for longer than a second, for like 1 second clips. I think like he was probably like behind the scenes, like nah. So the whole video is like a bunch of girls in bikinis wearing white ski masks throwing money at him. And he's never in like a scene longer than 1 second. I think he was like talking to the director. He's like, nah, get me out of here. Like, we need to have girls just with lots of money, just throwing money at me.
Yeah.
He's like, that girl's ugly. Put ski masks on all of them. And it's a weird fucking video.
It's impossible to get in the mind of Antonio Brown to say what he was thinking.
2,000 likes, 7,000 dislikes.
Wow. No way.
Yeah.
When he dropped it, it was immediately, shifted in that
I
direction.
love that every time he does something, it's just critically panned.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Check it out. Leave some comments. I'm sure he'll bark back at you. It's insane. It's so bad. It's like a minute and a half or something.
2 minutes long.
Oh, 2 minutes. That's all he had.
That's with an epilogue and a prologue, though.
Yeah, that's it's mostly just the chorus. It will stay in your head, unfortunately. A whole lot of money.
I don't know why, but it makes me feel really good that I have more subscribers than Antonio Brown on YouTube. He has 1.18 thousand subscribers.
Yeah, I don't think people are thinking like, oh, I got to find Antonio Brown's YouTube subscription.
Yeah.
Although it might catch on because people are like, God, let's see what that fucking maniac's up to.
Oh, today he actually posted a 4-minute excerpt from. No, it's another song
No way.
called 60 Minutes. I thought it was him on 60 Minutes, like a 4-minute excerpt
Oh
of that.
my God. No way. Do you want to play like a...
Let's pause it for a second.
Yeah. Hold on. We're going to listen to this real quick and then give you our thoughts. All right. We're back.
Is it because I'm black?
Because I'm black.
Uh,
Because I got all that money and I can say what I want.
so this is from Antonio's new track. We just discovered it. We're very confused by all of it.
Weird song.
Very weird. Unlike the other one where it's all chorus, this one is all nonsense. It's all like
Yeah.
I don't think there is a chorus. It's also like you pointed out, the audio is terrible.
It sounds like he like screamed it at his phone in a garage.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going on with any of it. It just sounds like a person that has lost his fucking mind.
Let me see what the like-dislike ratio on this one
Oh
is.
yeah.
Okay. Well, actually, he's in the green on this one.
Wow.
223 up and 60 down. It was posted today with 2,000 views. So good for him.
Wow.
Guy got 2,000 eyes on him.
Man, he just needs attention at all times. And it's funny, like he made this whole lot of money song, but he's spending so much money on that shitty video.
Yeah.
And he has like 400 lawsuits out against him. It's just ironic that soon he will not have any money.
I can't wait till he's like, owns a Chick-fil A franchise somewhere, and that's like what he does now.
But they're open on Sundays. I'll support it if he does that.
Chick-fil-A got bought out recently.
Really?
Yeah, so who knows what the future may hold.
Whoa! Can you imagine Chick-fil-A?
What
on
dreams
Sundays?
may come? Yeah.
What
See-
if the whole reason Chick-fil-A was closed on Sundays, it was all a publicity stunt for decades down the line? To just like once it was open on Sundays, they just like made so
they just
much
killed
business.
it for like a year.
Yeah.
Because every Sunday, that's usually when I'm like, I want Chick-fil-A.
I know. You drink some Saturday night, you're
Yeah.
hungover, you're like, oh, it sounds good, Chick-fil-A. God damn it. And then you're
Yeah.
swearing,
Exactly.
using God's name in vain on top of
Chick-fil-A probably has to deal with the devil just to get people into hell for using God's name in vain on the Sabbath.
oh boy.
I would probably weigh. I'm already fat right now, but I'd probably weigh a lot more if Chick-fil-A was open on Sundays.
Oh man. You know what sounds good right now?
Pizzas?
Chick-fil-A.
Oh. But it's Monday. They're open.
Yeah.
It won't work.
Let's go to Hollywood. Well, it's my favorite part of the podcast. It's the time where we start a new rumor about Skip Bayless.
I thought it was the part where we ordered a Popeye's chicken sandwich or something.
I still have not had one. Have
Me
you?
neither.
God
Should I
damn it.
DoorDash one? I'll Grubhub one right now.
Oh man, my stomach could not handle a leaf right now. I would throw up. I don't know what's going on.
Too much green chili.
Yeah, over the holidays, just too much green chili. Maybe being in Will Cain's presence made me very sick.
He
Uh,
poisoned you.
do you have a rumor you want to throw out there, or do you need to think on it while I tell mine?
Well, I've been. You could just go ahead and say yours first.
All right. I'm excited to share this. I wasn't aware of this, but did you know that Mark David Chapman, the guy that assassinated John Lennon, was actually Skip Bayless's roommate at the time that he did that, and for a couple years leading up. And what happened was he would share his takes. Skip Bayless, his roommate, would share his takes on the Beatles versus the Rolling Stones, saying that the Beatles were far superior than the Stones, and he would go on and on and on about this take. And it doesn't matter where you lie on Beatles versus Stones. I prefer the Stones, but I like the Beatles.
See, I prefer the Beatles myself.
See, yeah, I mean, there's no wrong answer. They're both great bands. They're both highly influential. But Skip, was a Beatles guy and just really, as he does with all takes, just drove it into the ground and went on and on and on until eventually led to Mark David Chapman going crazy. And he was like, you know what? Fuck this guy. And fuck John Lennon.
John Lennon ruined
And
my
he-
college career. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he killed John Lennon because of Skip Bayless.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, not to be a Skip Bayless about this whole conversation, but for me, it's like I don't understand how anyone could think the Rolling Stones are better than the Beatles. I'm sorry, Doug.
Oh man, I'm all about the Stones.
For me, it's just a different sport altogether. I think the Beatles are just legendary.
I think the Beatles to me were so played. It's like anything where it's like thrown in your face so much from day one of life that like I just
probably like why I hate Tim Tebow.
Yeah, same thing. Just too much of anything. You're like, all right, I get it. The Stones, I kind of got into late because I didn't, other than Satisfaction. Did you hear that?
Oh, God,
Speaking
that
of
was gross.
Satisfaction.
That was really gross.
Yeah, I'm probably going to die 10 minutes after this podcast.
That was really foul. Oh, God.
We were both, Mikey is sinking into his couch. I'm sinking into my dog's chair.
I'm literally lying prone right now on the couch recording this pod. Like, but something happened. We ate some food right before we started this. I think this food was cursed.
I had one drink, but yeah, maybe it's food. I don't know what's happening.
Maybe it's because I quit smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Both of us are in pain.
Yeah. I'm going to throw up because you quit smoking cigarettes. Well, yeah, but did you have a rumor?
Actually, no, my ear has not been to the ground lately on Skip News, so I wasn't really prepared with a rumor this week.
It's all right. We'll just move on with everyone knowing that he's the reason John Lennon is dead.
We'll just substitute the visual we gave the audience for our current positions, lying down on the couch and you in your dog chair.
Well, guys, Mikey and I have to go drink some Pepto-Bismol. Hopefully we're alive after this, and there's another episode. Thanks for listening. As always, do you want to tell people where to subscribe to your YouTube?
I mean, it's not technically mine. I do all the videography for it, so no, I won't do that. Just follow me on Instagram if you want to go look at real estate content and mansion tours. You can do that, but I doubt you do. But at Airs World on Instagram, self promotion is obviously my thing.
Also, I gotta plug something that has nothing to do with anything, but on the DC universe app or whatever, if you happen to be a comic book nerd, I'm honestly thinking about doing some sort of superhero podcast on the side. Let me know what you think about that. Are there any sports/nerds fans? But on the DC app, there is the whole...
You should preface what the DC app is. I didn't even know what that was
before. Oh,
before.
yeah. The DC Universe has their own, like, Disney Plus. It's like their own channel, streaming service. And they have the whole Shazam series from the 70s.
Fantastic.
And it is fucking beautiful. You learn a lesson at the end of every episode. None of the episodes make sense. It's aimed towards like tweens, probably young children and tweens.
Yeah.
And it's about a young boy. The recent Shazam movie came out. It did pretty well. It was probably the best DC has to offer from their shitty movies. But that one made sense. This one, they made it funny. They made it good. This one, it's a young boy that travels around in a van with an old man named Mentor.
Mentor.
But they call him Mentor. And they go around until they run into problems, and then the young boy turns from a Mexican boy into a white man to go solve problems.
Yeah, I saw the episode where a man gets trapped in a well.
Yeah, real good episode.
Shazam has to drop 10 feet into the well to save him.
But it's fucking... I bet you can find... I know for a fact, I looked up Best of Shazam TV series or something on YouTube. Give it a whirl. It is fucking magnificent.
Lots of views on that video.
Oh, man. When they show him flying in the air, it's beautiful.
He's always 40,000 feet in the air.
Yeah. We watched an episode before we did the podcast where there was a kid drowning in a river 20 feet away, and he turned into Shazam, flew 30,000 feet into the air to go 20 feet, and then come back down into the river.
The kid ended up drowning.
So good. Yeah, he died for sure. But anyway, so there's that. That has nothing to do with me, but check that out. Also, I've got the Burrito for President 2020 shirts online at DougMeller.com, as well as the Fart Safari shirts. Check those out. People seem to be loving them. And I'll be in Sacramento with Dan Cummins on the, I think it's the 23rd through the 25th. Sacramento Punchline. Check that out. That'll be fun.
When's your recording you did in Austin coming out? Anywhere
Oh,
on
Fart
that?
Safari 3. There's no date yet, but the edits are close to done. But there's still some like bureaucracy that has to go on with that. It'll be a little bit, but I'll let everybody know as soon as I know. I'm excited to share that. Can't wait to put that out there. But stay tuned. Anyway, Mikey, thanks for being on.
Thanks for
Sorry I
having
made
me.
us both sick somehow. Sorry we're both gonna die. I think we should just go to sleep now.
Yeah, I might just sleep on this couch here.
Yeah, it's fine. Thanks for listening, guys. Tune in next week.
For
See you
more
later.
energy.
Yeah. Next week, more energy. More energy.